The mountains of Coriston looked peaceful from afar, but to the 7-man SEAL team pinned down inside a crumbling stone compound, they were a cage of death. For 3 hours, Lieutenant Jake Torres had been trying to get a message out. Command, this is Viper 1. We're taking heavy fire, low on ammo, requesting immediate air support. We've got wounded static. Only the pop of rifle fire and the metallic tang of blood on the dust-filled air answered him. They were 30 miles beyond the official operational boundary, too deep for any fast movers to cover in time. A Taliban splinter group had them surrounded using mortars and heavy PKMs from the ridges. Jake glanced at Petty Officer Lenny Brooks, who was pressing a blood-soaked rag to his thigh. Brooks was pale, breathing in sharp bursts. Just hang in, Brooks, Jake muttered. I'll get you out. But even Jake didn't believe his own words. At forward operating base, Ranger Captain Maria Iron Angel Alvarez was finishing the last maintenance check on her A-10 Thunderbolt II, the Warthog, the jet. Shark mouth paint job grinned in the Afghan sun, and Maria's hands were still greasy from inspecting the GAU-8 Avenger cannon she wasn't supposed to fly. Today, the mission board was clear. She had pulled 3 sorties a day before, hammering enemy trucks trying to cross into friendly territory. Her crew chief, Sergeant Webb, was about to grab her for lunch when the base radio crackled. Ranger ups to Hog 21. Be advised, emergency relay from Overlord. SEAL team, Viper 1 is requesting CAS, but they're beyond the standard AO. Maria's head snapped up. Coordinates. Ups hesitated. 35 clicks east of the red line. Hostile. AAA activity confirmed. No other assets. In range. Mission is off the books. Translation. This wasn't sanctioned. If she went, she'd be alone. No escort. No tankers. No backup. Maria walked toward her Warthog, helmet under her arm. Webb followed. You're not thinking about taking this, are you? The brass will have your ass. She didn't answer. Just climbed the ladder. Her voice came through the intercom, calm but sharp. Load me with full 30 millimeters, Mavericks and rockets. Fuel me to maximum. You've got 6 minutes. Webb swore, but his hands were already moving. You're going to owe me a beer if you make it back. She smiled thinly. I'll buy the whole damn bar. As she strapped in, Maria thought about why she was doing this. Her brother David had been a Navy SEAL. 2 years ago, he was killed in a botched extraction. No CAS had come in time. She wasn't about to let another SEAL team die because someone higher up didn't want to risk assets. The A-10 roared into the sky, its engine coughing a low, threatening hum that sent vibration through the cockpit. Maria climbed to 500 feet, then dropped to treetop level 80 feet above the ground, using the ridges as cover. Her hood blinked red, warning, out of operational range. Fuel safety margin, 20%. She ignored it. 10 minutes out, she opened a secure frequency. Viper 1, this is Hog 21. Got your call. ETA 9 mics. Static. Then Jake's voice drained, but alive. God, I thought we were done. We've got mortars on the east ridge. Heavy MGS on the west. Friendly smoke is green. We're running dry. Maria grinned. To herself. Copy that. Keep your heads down, boys. The Angels inbound. She crested the final ridge and the battlefield exploded into view. The compound was barely holding together. Tracers stitched the walls, mortar, rounds kicking up geysers of dust. Dozens of insurgents swarmed the high ground. Maria rolled the Warthog left, feeling the weight of the GAU under her. She lined up on the east ridge, but the Avenger's 30 millimeters cannon spat death at 3,900 rounds per minute. Enemy mortars vanished in a storm of depleted uranium. Shells. Fighters scattered like ants. Jake's voice came back. Urgent. Hell. Yeah, that's one ridge clear. Milligram nest. Still active west side. Maria banked. Hard, dropping to 60 feet above the ground, weaving between rocky outcrops. She fired a Hydra rocket pod into the machine gun nest, the explosion sending black smoke billowing into the sky. On her third pass, Maria's RWR screamed, "A radar lock. Crap." An old Soviet Zu-234 Shulka anti-aircraft gun had been hidden. In the valley, the insurgents had saved it for just this moment. She dumped flares and broke hard right, the tracers, arcing past the canopy. The Warthog shuddered as fragments rattled off the fuselage. Her comms hissed. Hog 21. You take a hit? Jake asked. Nothing I can't. Fix later. Sit tight. Maria climbed. Sharply, flipped inverted over the ridge, and came back down on the Shulka's position. She squeezed the trigger. Bah! The Shulka vanished in a burst of fire and twisted metal. Her fuel light blinked amber now. She had maybe 10 minutes before she'd be forced to turn back, but the SEALs still needed a window to escape. Viper 1, I'm going to make one last strafing run. When I hit the North Ridge, move. I'll cover your egress route west. Jake's voice was firm. Now, understood. We're moving on your mark. Maria pushed the throttle, came in, low, and let the Avenger sing one last time. She carved a path of destruction, up the North Ridge, clearing enemy positions and kicking up a dust storm that masked the SEALs' movement. Through her canopy, she saw them small figures, sprinting across the open ground toward the riverbed, carrying their wounded. Enemy fighters tried to chase, but Maria dropped her last rocket salvo between them, the explosion throwing them back. Viper 1, you are clear to the west. I'm bingo fuel. I have to RTB now. Jake's voice was different this time, softer. Hog 21, Maria, we owe you our lives. If you ever need anything, you call Viper 1. She smiled behind her oxygen mask. Just buy me a beer someday. Alvarez out. As she pulled away, the mountains fell, silent behind her. The Warthog limped home, fuel gauges scraping the red. She landed with less than 2 minutes fuel left, the fuselage peppered with shrapnel. 2 days later, in the dusty mess hall, Maria was eating alone when a shadow fell over her table. She looked up to see Jake Torres and his team, all alive, all smiling. Brooks leaned on crutches, but managed a salute. Jake set down a beer in front of her. One beer as promised. And just so you know, from now on, the SEALs have a saying, if you're beyond range, pray for the angel. Maria raised her bottle in a quiet toast to never leaving anyone behind. The table erupted in cheers. Somewhere in the hangar, the Warthog sat silent, its shark mouth still grinning, waiting for the next time someone would call for the angel.